Assalamu alaikum. Bismillah, alhamdulillah. Allahumma salli ala Sayyidina Muhammadin wa alihi wa sahbihi wa sallam. Inshallah, everyone is well. Want to begin reading from The Endless Banquet, a thematic explanation of the Qur'an. Imam Hamza Abdul Malik wrote this book. I have a link where you can buy it, where you can also support some of Imam Hamza's work. I had this on Amazon or Apple Books. I think before this was a print version. But I just want to do some short readings from this book as I get more familiar with the book myself. But I think this is a great resource for us, people that like this page, like this channel, who followed some of the work that I've done, because it's American scholars is what I'm trying to lift up. So someone that understands our language, someone that understands culturally, and then also someone that's deeply rooted in the Islamic tradition. So I have a lot to learn here. So in the chapter Surah Al-Fatihah, we read, it could be argued that Al-Fatihah constitutes a summary of the Qur'an. Every part of the Qur'an can be linked back to an ayah from this surah. Examining the Qur'an from a higher level, it can be summarized as a book that teaches us two things: the relationship of Allah with His creation and our relationship to Him. The beginning of Al-Fatihah establishes the relationship between Allah and His creation. The first three ayat revolve around four attributes of Allah. The first states that Allah is the Lord, and the second is that He is the most gracious, then the most merciful, and lastly, the Master or King. The first attribute is associated with the relationship Allah has with nature. Not only does He nurture it, but He's also its caretaker. The meaning of His lordship flows directly into the meaning of being merciful. Allah is merciful to all beings, regardless of their level of significance or insignificance. Following the second attribute is the description of Allah as the most merciful. The third attribute brings more nuance to His mercy by defining the specific mercy that is allotted to those who choose to worship and love Him. The fourth and final attribute, the Master, King, serves to define His relationship with His creation on the Day of Judgment. Altogether, these four attributes summarize the principles through which we understand the actions Allah takes at every stage of our existence. The second half of the surah highlights our relationship with Allah and defines this through two categories. The first category defines the actions we should undertake, both outwardly and inwardly. Outwardly, we're required to follow a lifestyle that allows us to worship Allah through rituals and by following the Sharia, and to do so purely for His sake, i.e., it is You we worship. Inwardly, we must rely on Him alone and not expect our actions to earn us salvation, i.e., from You we seek assistance. The second category expands on the first by enhancing the definition of worshiping Allah and what our reliance should look like. Allah defines the nature of this path of worship and reliance based on the path of the righteous people who came before us. Simultaneously, we must avoid the path of people who've demonstrated extreme behavior, such as that which incurs the anger of Allah or that which leads to misguidance. All these extremes are elaborated on throughout the stories detailed in the Quran and will be discussed in future lessons, inshallah. So, alhamdulillah, a short reading from the Endless Banquet. Inshallah, we'll be able to return to this. Hope everyone is well. Take care. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.